All right. Hello, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I am excited to get started. We always give a minute or two here right as we kick off to let everyone join, but welcome. My name is Ryan Hutchings, General Manager here for Escapia. We have a lot of information to get to today, and as usual, our annual What's New in Escapia webinar here that we love to do has a lot packed in it, and I think that's why everybody likes to join these. Our goal is to keep you informed about what's on the roadmap, recent releases, and also what's coming next. And this is also the reason why we like to put these on because it kind of gives you the full view of everything start to finish and where we're at. Before we get to the agenda, though, I do want to do a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, we're recording the webinar. So we record all of these. It should be available within the next couple of days after the webinar. So don't worry if you feel like you want to review this again or have the ability to share it with somebody or go over it with the team member or teams. It will be available as a recording after the fact, and you can go over everything that we talk about. We've also collected all the top questions. Thank you again. Just as usual, we like to collect these ahead of time. Many of you submitted these questions during registration. And the way we like to do this, what we found is most efficient, is we like to answer these throughout the webinar. So we have put them in specific sections or through some areas throughout the webinar to answer these questions. And we will have some time at the end where we'll answer some more as a Q&A format at the very end. Thanks to everyone who did submit the questions, though, because this shows not only your engagement, but you making the time and making sure that on this webinar, everyone will benefit not only from your questions, but from the things that we share. Okay, so let's get into what we are going to cover today. First and foremost, we have a full agenda, like I mentioned. The first number one you see there, I'm very excited. We'll talk about this in a minute, but I'll introduce you to our new head of product, a big change and a big exciting new change for Escapia. I'll introduce him in just a second, but as after we do introduction, we'll get into the high level overview of the roadmap, which areas of the software we are focused on improving and what that looks like as part of our roadmap, and then why we decided to go this route. So we always like to share that kind of big view with you. Then the team will dive into the details of what we've recently released, along with a preview of new features that are coming to you very soon. And we'll do both of those things. After answering top questions, then we'll wrap up with takeaways and some important reminders at the very end before we close it out. So as we go through this, remember we will answer questions throughout it, but then at the very end we'll do more Q&A and then some important reminders and closing remarks at the very end. So we aim to provide and a complete transparent roadmap and information for you as the customers so you know where we're focused on and what the features you can look forward to, and not only to use now, but also what you can look forward to coming down the road. So with that, I want to jump right in and say we are very, very excited to welcome Steven to the Escapia as our new head of product. Now, Steve has led various product management teams here at Expedia Group over the last 10 years. So he's very experienced in not only the industry, but he's a long-standing, long-tenured member of Expedia Group, which makes a big difference. Our entire Escapia team has a lot of this, and Steven is now adding to that tenure with a lot of experience, and he's been instrumental in a lot of different areas at Expedia Group, both converging back-end inventory systems to support the vacation rental, conventional lodging, and even other lines of business at Expedia Group. So his knowledge of product management, connectivity, and not only the VR software space is going to be a real asset for us here at Escapia, and I'm excited to have him on board. With that, I'll actually turn it over to him and have Steven share a little bit about himself and transition us into the roadmap discussion and get right into what's coming in Escapia. Steven?
Hey, thanks for the warm introduction, Ryan. I'm truly energized to have joined the Escapia product team. I've seen the work this team has produced over the last couple of years and have to say how impressed I've been with the research, planning, and delivery of features in the software. It's a real highlight to be leading this team and together building an even stronger Escapia. A little bit about myself. I'm based here in Seattle, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, and I lived in Northern California for almost 10 years before coming to the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Away from work, I love to garden, have a huge garden at home, just kicking off in spring, play disc golf, and of course, travel. Here I am in this picture with my fiance on a whale watching tour in Hawaii just last March. My family and I have created many special memories staying in vacation rentals. I couldn't be happier than being in a position to help you deliver more amazing guest experiences. But enough about me. Let's get into what we're focused on, building the features that help you run your business more profitably. Based on your feedback, there are 6 areas we've been hard at work upgrading and we'll be updating you on today. Firstly, guest experience, to give you the tools right within Escapia to deliver the perfect welcome. Housekeeping, giving you the true mobile functionality so you and your housekeeping staff can work seamlessly on the go. Notifications, enabling you to respond quickly to important events. Reporting, so you can run customizable reports presenting you with powerful data with ease. Airbnb optimization, making your Airbnb experience more seamless via our inbuilt channel manager, Escapia Connect. And reservations, where we'll preview mobile-first modern enhancements we think you'll love. We've got our team of product experts here today to walk us through the latest features and what's coming soon. Jenna will kick things off with key updates in guest experience and housekeeping, and then return later to share plans and reservations. Caitlin will cover the latest news and notifications and how we're really optimizing your Airbnb experience. And Ibrahim will dive into reporting updates that you really do make tracking your business performance much easier. To start, I'll hand it over to Jenna to get us started. Jenna?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steven. I'm really excited for our first product update today. It is all about guest hospitality. Today, I'm really excited to talk about guest guides, which is our brand new feature that will help you ultimately build comprehensive digital guides and or PDFs all within Escapia. I know that some of you today are probably using Glad Hospitality and know that it's pretty time consuming to set up your templates. It also does not provide the most modernized experience for your guests. Another group of our customers are paying out of pocket for a third-party tool. And then we have another bucket of customers who are not taking advantage of having a guidebook at all. And with our new guest guides in Escapia, we really want to simplify your workflow, help you save time, and deliver the best guest experience all within one place. Let's kick it off by looking at what your guests will see on their side of the guide. When your guests receive your business-specific URL, they'll be greeted by a branded login screen that's complete with whatever logo and background photo of your choosing. To log into this actual site, all they need is their confirmation number and check-in date. I'll show you here in a bit. We actually made a merge tag for you that incorporates both the link to the guest site, the confirmation number, and check-in date. That way you get it one and done when creating your templates. Once your guest is logged in, they'll see a few different things. They'll see pictures of the unit that they can drill into and actually have a carousel of all pictures that you've uploaded. They'll then see their general stay information, address, check-in and check-out date and time. Then after that is all the custom content that you have created for them, grouped into different menu items, sub-menu items, and then the template content you created. You'll see how you structure that here momentarily. One other thing I want to call out is that directly within the site, your guests have the option to download a PDF version. This way, if they're headed somewhere pretty remote with limited service, they can download this in advance and have access to everything they need until they're back online and can access the mobile version. This new experience is both desktop and mobile friendly. It's clean, it gives guests access to all the information they need for their stay in one central location, and does not require the hassle of downloading an app. Now let's take a look at how easy it is for you to get started setting up your guides within Escapia. Awesome. So when you're arriving to the Communications Hub menu in Escapia, you'll find the new guest guide section. And when you open it, you'll notice that we've already provided some recommended categories, subcategories, and templates for you. We really wanted to make this setup for you as streamlined, efficient, and intuitive as possible. I like to think of this screen as somewhat of a table of contents. Here, for example, we have a category called property information. And within property information, we have 3 subcategories: internet access, house rules, and amenities. Within each subcategory, you can have as many templates as you need to apply to some or all of your units. This means that when your guests receive a link to a guest guide or the PDF, only the relevant information for their stay and unit booked will appear. The categories in the site are displayed as menu items, and then within the menu item, you'll see the subcategories. That subcategory will appear kind of like a subheading. And then under that subheading, all of that content you drafted within the template will appear. Another great benefit you just saw in this video is that you'll be able to structure and sort your guide content all within one screen with our handy drag and drop feature on the left-hand side. Now let's take a look at those out-of-the-box templates I've mentioned earlier. When you actually open up a template on the guest guide configuration page, you'll notice that we've already populated some of the helpful merge tags for you. You're not going to have to go on a hunt through our comprehensive library of tags, and you can simply keep the tags that are relevant for you or omit the tags that you don't need. The same goes for any categories or subcategories. You can keep what's there, delete it, or add or omit as much as you want. The tags we do have added for you within the templates will, just like all of our other tags and ComSub templates, pull the relevant information so you're not having to manually enter any information over and over for each reservation. Once your template content is populated, you have a couple options for how to customize your templates. You can customize the templates for specific units. This is really great for customers who maybe have some units that have a pool and some that don't. That way you can provide pool access instructions and any other information about the pools for those units only. Another option you have is choosing platform settings. You can choose whether the guide will or this template will appear in the PDF guide or the site or both. This is great if you want to make like a custom cover page for your PDF that maybe doesn't necessarily apply to the website. And then finally, you can choose when the template will appear based off phase of stay. This is really great for security. If you don't want certain access information or general condominium shared amenities to be present in the site prior to arrival, you can choose to hide those until they arrive. Also, I want to call out that we did in fact add a new merge tag to both guest guide templates and ComSub templates called Smart Lock Code. You can easily enter this merge tag and it'll pull whichever lock code provider code you have set up. Awesome. Now that your templates are all ready to go, you can proceed by adding your unique branding details to your site. Within the Customize tab of guest guides within Escapia, you'll see that there's an option for you to upload your business logo and a background photo. This is a really great opportunity for you to reflect your brand, possibly encourage rebooking by building a truly unique experience for your guests. It's a simple step, but it does add a polish and professional feel. Now your guide's all set up, let's look at how you can get this out to your customers. To automate the delivery of your guest guide, you can use our Communications Hub inbox, either adding the guest guide link merge tag to your email or SMS templates, and pairing that with our configurable scheduling. I have an example here where I chose to send out the guest guide to my guests 10 days before their arrival at 12 p.m. Inside the template, as mentioned, I'm using that guest site access merge tag to dynamically pull the confirmation code, the check-in day, and my business-specific URL. You'll have everything in one template for them to access the site. You also have the option to use our Communications Hub inbox to manually send a PDF. This is great to troubleshoot any access to the site. And then finally, you can use our existing correspondence. Just paste your link to the guest site within there and use our existing merge tags for check-in day and confirmation code. While I did just go through the setup of guest guides super fast, we want to make sure that you have all the tools you need to successfully set up your guides and ultimately get them out to guests. To sign up for an instructor-led training, you can go to escapia.com/training and register for one of the 3 sessions we are offering. I do want to mention that second option on Wednesday, June 25th is the best option for our Australia and New Zealand customers. If you're ready to start now or can't make any of those sessions, you can also go to escapia.com/guest guides for more information and step-by-step instructions. With that, let's take a look at a common question we're getting from customers after the release of guest guides. Okay, so the question we got is there a way to bulk transfer third-party guides to Escapia guest guides? This is a really great question. Ultimately, this is what we were striving for. However, due to the differences in merge tag naming and data structures amongst all of our third parties, there is no one-size-fits-all bulk transfer option for moving guides from a third party into Escapia. However, we did want to simplify this process as much as possible, which is exactly why we provided those out-of-the-box templates with merge tags, categories, and subcategories. This means you can quickly get started, not having to build out your guides from scratch, saving you time and effort, and ensuring a smooth transition to the new platform. That covers all things guest guides. Let's pivot to our next product update. Another area we have been really working hard on improving for you and your teams is within housekeeping. And while Escapia has already offered some of the foundations of housekeeping, like automated task assignments, we've heard from many of you that the mobile experience and lack of notifications is just not meeting the mark. And that's why we've made a significant investment in our mobile-first housekeeping experience. This is something that will support both what you need and your teams need in the field. We'll start by taking a look at what your housekeepers will see when looking at the housekeeping dashboard. One of the biggest enhancements we made to the housekeeping dashboard is including task notifications for housekeepers. This means housekeepers can now be notified of any tasks they're assigned, whether it's their daily tasks assignments or any last-minute adds that happen due to late checkouts, early check-ins. And you can choose to notify them via email or SMS. Just shortly after I speak today, Caitlin will walk you through how to configure your notifications when we get to our communication section. You'll see in the first screenshot here that each notification includes a link that will take your housekeeper directly to their personalized mobile-first housekeeping dashboard. We didn't want to just stop at making this a little bit more mobile-friendly. We also wanted to introduce some key upgrades relative to the existing housekeeping dashboard. The first thing we added was the ability to attach photos. So this means your housekeepers can upload a photo of any maintenance issues they encounter during their clean. Additionally, this is a great area for you to require your housekeeping staff to upload a photo to prove that they've completed their clean up to your standards. Your management team, however, may include reference photos that housekeepers can review to make sure that they know exactly where to place furniture or belongings that may have been moved out of place by guests. Another really exciting upgrade we made to the housekeeping dashboard is issue reporting and alerts. If a housekeeper encounters any inventory problems or maintenance issues and they want to alert you immediately, they can simply report it directly within their task, and you can choose to turn on notifications for any of these issue submissions. Holistically, these updates will all help your team stay aligned, reduce back and forth, and ensure nothing slips through the cracks. Let's take a deeper look at that most recent feature I mentioned, which is the issue reporting and alerts and how that will appear from your end. When you do receive an issue reported, you will immediately see a tag added to the task in the upper right-hand corner. So here you can see this first task has one issue reported. This way you know, okay, I'm going to go to the dashboard, drill into this task for more information. I also want to call out while we're on the screen, the same goes for notes and photos. We wanted to make this very obvious for you since we know some of you may have hundreds of housekeeping tasks to review within a day. For those of you who don't set up who do set up notifications for your housekeeper submitted issues, you'll receive a notification via email or SMS that you'll see here in the next slide. This Text or email will include some important information like the unit the issue was submitted for, who submitted the issue, as well as whatever text they included with that issue submission. If you choose not to set up notifications, however, you can still access the issue by expanding the task on the housekeeping dashboard and removing the or reviewing the description like you saw on the prior slide. With that, we're ready to take a look at some of your top housekeeping related questions we received from you all. All right, so the first question we got is why are we retiring the existing housekeeping dashboard for the mobile-friendly housekeeping dashboard? Really good question. We ultimately chose to retire the legacy dashboard because we want to provide you all with a single modern mobile-friendly experience that better supports your teams in the field. The new dashboard includes the same features you had on the existing dashboard, as well as key features that you needed to enhance your experience, like task notifications, photo uploads, and issue alerts. We're really designing this in a way to improve your communication and task management, and we want to consolidate this into one improved solution, which is exactly why we made the call to retire the existing dashboard at the end of June. We know that this is a tough transition for not only you, but also your housekeepers, and that's why we really value your feedback here. Please continue to submit your feedback, questions, comments, and concerns using the submit feedback button in Escapia. I will personally review anything housekeeping related. If you are already using the existing housekeeping dashboard, do not worry, all of your tasks will automatically appear in the new one. There is zero migration needed from your end. All you have is now more features. However, if you're a customer who doesn't currently use Escapia's housekeeping and you're interested in getting started, be sure to reach out to our support team or review some of our knowledge base articles to see how you can get automated task scheduling set up. We strongly encourage that you begin using the new housekeeping dashboard now. That way you're ready to roll ahead of our retirement at the end of June. All right, on to our next question. Are there any plans to modernize service orders or task management features so that it can be used instead of third-party solutions? At this time, we don't have a plan to continue working on service orders and task management within Escapia. And this is because we already have a maintenance dash, which is both mobile and desktop friendly, where you can manage service orders and other tasks. If there is anything significantly missing from the maintenance dashboard relative to your third parties that would complete your needs in Escapia, please be sure to share that feedback with us. We'll make sure we review that and take that into account in our roadmap. With that, we've covered all things housekeeping, and I'll hand it over to Caitlin for the latest on notifications.
Thanks, Jenna. So Jenna showed you all about that great functionality in housekeeping, but she talked about notifications, but we're going to dive a little more into notifications. So first, what are notifications and why would you want to set them up? So this is a feature that we built based on customer feedback and has been something requested for many years by you. Right? Notifications is going to allow you to receive notification based on something you want to be alerted about. And right now there are 4 types of notifications that you can currently set up. So the first is based on a booking created. So if a new booking comes in, you want to be alerted about it, you can create a notification to receive that text, email, or to just your My Notifications page. The next is around a new message in the inbox. So a lot of you have started to use inbox, but then you're getting in there and you're going, oh no, how do I know if I even have a new message in the inbox? So this is a notification you can set up to send you a text message or an email, and it will allow you to know if you get a new message from the traveler. So this is whether it comes in, you can get it set up. So if it comes in from Verbo, you can set it up so it comes from only specific channels, but you can receive that text message so you can quickly respond to that traveler. And then there are the 2 around housekeeping. So you can set up the notification for the task due. So that one is one you can schedule. So if they want to receive their schedule 2 days before, the morning of, you can have that sent out to your housekeeper, and then the maintenance one that Jenna also reviewed. Most notifications will send immediately, except for that housekeeping scheduled event. So now that we've spoke about why you need notifications, let's talk about how to set them up. So to navigate to set up notifications, you're going to go to Communications, Communication Settings, Notification Templates. There you will select the event that you want that notification to go out for. If it's a housekeeping task, it will automatically go to the assigned housekeeper, but you can add additional people to it if you wanted another person on it. Or for each different notification, it will show which people can receive the notification. So you can decide that who. And then you receive how you want to set up that notification, right? So you can decide whether you want it to go text, email, or the My Notifications page, or all of the above. You'll name that notification, and then you'll see what message is going to be sent out as part of that notification. Typically, it will include merge tags, so it's unique to the notification and what you're receiving it on. So on the right is an example of different notifications I received as text messages. With the inbox one, you'll receive that link right back to the Communications Hub inbox, so you can go back right there and respond to the message. And then Jenna showed some of the housekeeping ones. You're also able to narrow the scope of the notifications you get. So you are now able in notifications to add conditions. So this enables you to limit what triggers that notification. So you can narrow this by marketing categories, marketing subcategories, channels, units, unit groups. So perhaps you want to alert every time an Airbnb reservation comes in, right? Every time that reservation is created, because you might want to reach out to the traveler. You can now create a notification event just for the bookings created from Airbnb or Vrbo. Or maybe you have an owner that wants to talk to you every time a new booking comes in from them. You can also create a notification specific for that unit to be alerted on that. So lastly, what if you start to get so many notifications and you don't actually want all of them? So every single Escapia user has a My Notifications page, and that's under Communications. At the very bottom, it says My Notifications. And this is going to be unique to each user. So only the notifications that were triggered for you will show on the My Notifications page. So if you log into my page versus logging into Steven's page, we would have different notifications that show here. I'm also able to choose how I receive those notifications. So perhaps as a reservations agent, my reservations manager set up a notification that every time there's a new message in the inbox, we receive a text message, but I don't want a text message. So here I can go in and choose in the action buttons how I receive that message unique to me. So if you're not using notifications today, please go and set one up, right? Start telling us what you think about it, start using it. And as we continue to work on other parts of Escapia, we will be continuing to add additional notifications. So please share your feedback. So one notification question that we received is, in the notifications template, can the default message be edited? And the answer is not today. It is something we would like to do in the future, especially as we continue to develop more and add more and more notifications, and as more people start to use the notifications. But as you're using the notifications, if you see something that you're like, gosh, this would really help if it had blank, like we would love that feedback. So please feel free to share that. Next, I'm going to pass it to Ibrahim, and he is going to discuss reporting.
Great. Thanks, Caitlin. So a lot of our focus on the reporting front has been to enable you to customize reports as you see fit. You will have noticed over the last few months a new Reports tab in the Escapia menu. When you click on that, you will land on the Performance Insights report. The Performance Insights report allows you to understand how your business is performing and make informed decisions. It's very similar to what you're already used to with the performance dashboard. So you're able to see revenue, bookings, ADR, etc. But we've added a few enhancements. So now you're able to filter very, very precisely. So let's say you want to understand your revenue by booking channel or by a combination of booking channels like Vrbo and Airbnb. You're now able to do that using filters. We've also given you more flexibility over the data that you're seeing. So you're able to customize and make sure that you're seeing what you want to see. That's the Performance Insights report. It will feel very familiar, but with some additional enhancements. So do go check that out. Next up, we have the Flex Reservation report. The Flex Reservation report is a report which consolidates data from 30 plus scattered reservation related reports into one. And in addition, it gives you the levers that you need to customize and create your own reservation related reports. So I'll walk you through a little bit of how you can start to use this feature and get the most out of your reporting. So let's play this video. So first and foremost, how do you get here? So in that Performance Insight dashboard that we talked about earlier, there's a My Dashboards pill. When you click on that, that will allow you to land into the Flex Reservation report. Now, this is the default view that we've created for you, but remember, there's a lot that you can do to customize it. So I can go into filters and I can say, instead of showing me all of my arrivals over the next 30 days, I want to see all of the arrivals over the next 60 days. And I can easily configure that. In addition, we also give you the ability to customize the columns that you have in the report. And there's a bunch that you can choose from. So here I'm going to click on Edit Columns and then remove one or two columns and add a couple of columns. So I'm going to remove Total Deposit Balance because I don't need that. I'm going to add Clean Status because I want to have that in this report. The other cool thing about this Flex reporting solution is that we allow you to create new dashboards and new reports very easily using the template that we've already provided. So if you hit that My Dashboards pill, there's going to be a 3-dot menu next to the Flex reservation report. When you click on that, you're able to duplicate and create a new dashboard. I can go back in there, rename this to whatever I want to name it to. Let's say in this case, I want a report that has all of my bookings in the year 2024. And then I can really easily configure it to meet that use case. So I'm going to go in, make sure that the arrival date is not limiting itself. So I want all the arrivals at any date. And I want to make sure that the creation date is limited to 2024 because this report is looking at all bookings that came in 2024. And there you go. I have that report. And when you go back outside of the reports tab and come back, this report will be there for you. The data will always update. And no matter how many reports you create, that will always be there for you and the data will update itself. So I come back into the reports tab and that report is right there for me. The other thing that we've just recently done based on the feedback that we've received from you is we've added hyperlinks to the booking and the reservation itself. So now instead of having to see your report in one place and then having to go in a different place to look at the booking, you're able to directly access the booking and the reservation tabs, do whatever you need to do there, and then close out of that and come back to where you left off and pick up from there. Cool. Awesome. So that was a little bit about our Flex reporting solution and the reservations related report. You can see there's a lot that you can potentially do with this. This was only a snapshot. I want to give a plug for a webinar that our instructors did back in February, where we walked you through how you can utilize the Flex report and really get the most out of it. So we'll share a link to that post this call. So please do check that out. I believe it'll be really beneficial for all of you. I also wanted to share what's coming soon in the reporting world. So first and foremost, on the next slide, there you go, cool. So first and foremost, what you just saw was the reservations Flex report, which consolidates data from 30 plus scattered reports into one. Next up, we're going to be releasing our next Flex report, which is going to be centered around accounting. And this report will consolidate data from 10 plus scattered reports into one, allowing you to fulfill month-end reconciliation and other bookkeeping tasks more efficiently. In addition, we're also going to allow you to schedule reports to be sent to yourself directly in your email at your convenience. So let's say the first thing you want to do when you're drinking your coffee is look at a report that you made. You're able to schedule that, and that will come directly into your email. And lastly, we've heard your feedback around the lack of coupon codes in the Flex reservation report and that limiting your ability to report on it. And so we're working towards adding that into the Flex reservation report, and you'll be able to do a lot more with coupon code reporting going forward. Awesome. With that, we had a question, which is, are additional fields being added to the Flex reservation reports? It's a great question, and we've received quite a few requests on being able to add this field and that filter and that column, etc. And to be transparent, a lot of these are very unique, and they've been we're looking at how we can enable all of this in a way that is scalable and maintains strong performance and usability. So when there is a lot of feedback coming in, we were able to enable the coupon code, but we want to make sure that we don't add too much such that it bogs down the report and makes it difficult for you to use. So it's something that's under discussion. We don't have a firm timeline yet, but I did want to acknowledge that we are looking into this as a team. Cool. With that, I'm going to pass it on to Caitlin to talk about Airbnb optimization.
Thanks, Ibrahim. So we know that Airbnb is an important channel to your business, and being able to quickly and simply manage Airbnb reservations is a top priority. Right now, folio reconciliation is a very manual and time-consuming process. So we're focusing on creating tools within Escapia Connect that will give you more control over folio creation and will help you with the reconciliation process. The first piece of the puzzle to unlock improvements to the reconciliation process is setting up tax remittance configurations for your units. This will allow you to define which taxes Airbnb is responsible for remitting and which taxes your agency is responsible for remitting. You can set this up unit by unit or in bulk for all units in a tax district. Setting this up will be essential to use our new tools and for future developments, which will be using these configurations to actually create the folio. This feature is now live. So if you are an Escapia Connect user, be sure to go and set this one up. Once you have set up your tax remittance configuration, you can then use the reservation price comparison report. So this report shows a side-by-side reservation comparison of the Escapia calculated folio values versus the actual values collected by the channel for rent, fees, and taxes. Using this report, you can plainly see folio discrepancies, identify which fee configurations may not be working on a channel, and the tax amount the agency is responsible for remitting. This is a great tool to use when reconciling your folios because it offers granular reference points to know how much you need to adjust the folio line items by. The next feature we'll be releasing to help with reservation management is automatically adding commission to Escapia Connect reservations. Right now for Escapia Connect reservations, you can see the channel's commission in the price details pop-up, but you still have to manually add the commission to the reservation. So with this release, you will be able to opt in to having the commission automatically added to your reservations as a travel agent. Additionally, you'll be able to mark the travel agent as exclude from owner statement so that the travel agent will not appear on the owner statement and then you don't get those calls from the owners asking what it is. And finally, the big focus for 2025 will be to replace the folio editing experience and redefining how the folio is generated. So giving you more control over how items are calculated and recalculated when reconciling the folio. Additionally, we will give you the ability to automate folio reconciliation for Airbnb reservations by creating templates that define the reconciliation steps that should be taken for each reservation. These features will significantly reduce the amount of manual work required to reconcile your folios, giving you more control over the changes you make to the folio and saving you a lot of time. So this will be coming later this year or early next year. And so the question we received for this that fits here is, are there any updates to Airbnb integration and unified inbox? So the short answer is yes. So if you have not seen it, we are now connecting the Escapia Connect Airbnb messaging API into the Communications Hub inbox. So an inquiry, questions about a booking from the traveler will flow directly into the conversation in the inbox. So then you could set up a notification to get once that new message comes in so you can quickly respond to that Airbnb traveler. And later this year, we'll also be working on giving you the ability to set up an automated template that will be scheduled to go directly through the API. So instead of sending it through a weird email they give you or any other way, you'll be able to send it directly through the API via scheduled template. And now I'm going to pass it back to Jenna to touch on reservations.
Awesome. The last product area we are highlighting today is reservations. And when I'm talking about reservations, I'm not just talking about our reservation grid. As we're beginning to dive into improving your experience holistically across managing reservations, our goal is really to provide you access to critical information with a streamlined and modernized experience, no matter what device type you're on. The reservation agenda is our new mobile first screen designed to provide a unified view for managing reservations on the go. While we're working on making this optimized for mobile, we'll also be releasing this on desktop as it provides functionality that's net new to Escapia and is beneficial both in the field and at your desk. This screen will consolidate key information that is currently scattered across multiple screens in Escapia, some in outdated interfaces, some in newer interfaces. It'll all be in one streamlined experience. You'll now be able to view everyone that's arriving today, all of your units that are currently occupied, and your current or today's departures in one place. You'll also then be able to drill into each one of these to see additional guest information, payment status, unit information, send reminders on rental agreements, and much more. By bringing all of this information into one screen, our entire goal here is to help you access the most important reservation details faster, especially when you're on the move. In parallel, we're also working on modernizing the existing reservations grid with a fresh, updated look that'll improve performance, visuals, ease of use, all while keeping the same familiar layout and structure you already know. Our goal with this redesign is to enhance usability and align it with our more updated Escapia interfaces while making it easier to scan, sort, and manage reservations. I do want to call out, most importantly, no functionality will be removed. This is going to be a long project. We're going to work with our customers to make sure everything exists in the new experience in a cleaner, more intuitive format, and that the new experience is not only just as good, but better than the current version. Now, one thing I want to call out is this design on the right-hand side is just a work in progress. We are still continuing to work with you all and get feedback on designs, concepts, and more. That way we can ensure as we approach this new grid, we're providing you with the ultimate best design possible. Now let's take a look at our top reservation related question. Will there be an opportunity to change colors of reservations based on channel? This is a really awesome question because I hear it all the time as we're digging into improvements for the res grid. We know that understanding the channel your booking came from is incredibly important in understanding payment status. So rather than providing you with color changes, we're actually going to just display the name of the booking channel directly in the booking bar. This way, you'll be able to see the color of the payment status and associate it with the channel all in one glance. I do want to call out that we are continuing to look at ways where you can customize potential color combos as we build out the grid as well. We have now covered all of our product updates. I'll now hand it back to Ryan to answer more of our top submitted questions.
Great. Thank you so much, team. So as usual, that was a lot of areas that we're focused on, a lot of improvements, a lot of changes coming in the future. Hopefully that gave some clarity as to what you could be looking into right now, be playing with and testing out and using, hopefully, and then also in the future. So thank you all of the product managers and for these updates. Now we'll turn our attention to answering some of the top questions. We're going to go quickly through some of these so we can get to the very end here, but let's go ahead and start with the first one. Stephen, I think this is going to be for you. How could AI be incorporated into Escapia software to fuel additional efficiencies?
Yeah, AI is really exciting, and I love seeing this question. The opportunities are near endless. We've been working on foundational elements to be able to bring AI capabilities to life within Escapia. We'll continue to invest in this area and hope to have new enhancements available in the future, but we don't have any to share yet today.
All right. Good question. Let's move on to the next one. Can we get an Escapia app so we don't have to log into the interface every time we need to look something up? Great question. I think I will take this one. We do get asked this quite often. Many of you have asked me this at, conferences or things. Right now, our we don't have a plan to develop an app separately. I think the reason for this is twofold. Number one, we'd rather than support like a full app as well as the full version of Escapia. I think we want all of our resources and time and energy going into making Escapia as it sits today on the platform ready and the best it can be for you now. With those resources, one caveat to that is rather than the app, what we do is we are making many parts of Escapia mobile responsive. And as you saw today in all of these feature releases and everything that we're planning on the future, mobile first is our design element that we incorporate into everything. So hopefully that makes it mobile friendly so you can be on the go with everything. Next question. When will the multi-quote, quick quote feature be back? Interesting. Caitlin, do you want to answer this real quick? It's an easy one.
Yeah, so currently there are two different ways to send a quote from Escapia. So if you navigate to the inbox and then you go to the send quote feature, you can go send a quote directly from the inbox. And there you can, it's a multi-quote. You can select multiple properties to send for somebody that's inquiring, or from the reservations grid, there is the quick quote feature where you can send one. So if you go into the quick quote and you go through that flow, it then, as you're putting in the contact, you can select send quote versus putting in the reservation itself. So that is two different ways to send a quote today from Escapia.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question, and then I think we'll move on to some additional takeaways. Does Escapia provide rental projections readily accessible to us and our owners? So, interesting question. I'll go ahead and answer this. This is kind of multi-pronged, I think. We have rental projections, we have sales projections, and then projections that you have access to and your owners do. Right now, there are rental reports, and if you need help navigating some of those reports, you can reach out to support. But there are reports out that just give some basic information about pacing. However, if you're looking at projections out into the future, you do have your performance dash that shows how you're doing right now. We rely heavily on a marketplace for these type of tool sets. So right now we don't have, future forward facing rental projection based off of not only your pacing, but also maybe market data, because that would need to be layered in, right, as far as performance goes into the future that may or may not be what you actually achieve. So if you look in the marketplace, we do think that the integrations we have there, places like Wheelhouse and rent, any rental revenue management type of company that provides that is integrated with Escapia could give you a good projection and readily accessible to you but also that you could export to your owners. So I think I would look at all of those options within our marketplace as something that would be more accessible and more formatable for probably what you're seeing here. So hopefully that helps. I know there were other questions. However, we did answer the top ones, and we will be reaching out to many of you outside of these questions to answer as many as we can. So with that, we do want to get back over to a recap of top takeaways, and I'm going to let Steven kind of wrap us up with that before we get into the final words here.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Okay, we've thrown a lot of information your way today. So let's recap what's available for you to use right now and what's coming soon. You have available right now a completely new mobile-friendly guest guides product, complete with pre-built templates, a guest site with your company branding, and the ability to automate sending of guides to your guests. A new housekeeping experience with mobile optimized interface, photo uploads, and housekeeper issue reporting functionality. New notification functionality for new bookings, new inbox messages, housekeeper tasks due, and housekeeper reported issues. Customizable performance insights and reservation reports. For Escapia Connect users, the ability to define Airbnb tax remittance plus a new reservation price comparison report. And there's more coming. Flex accounting reporting, scheduling and sending of reports, coupon code added to reservation report as was requested by many of you, automatically adding commission to Escapia Connect reservations, improved folio editing, automation of folio reconciliation steps, mobile-friendly reservations agenda, and a reimagined reservations grid. Please keep in mind some of these upcoming releases are in the next few months. Others will be later in 2025 or even early 2026. But we wanted to take this opportunity to give you an early preview. Now that you know what is available to you today and what's coming, here are the top 6 things you should do. First, go to Escapia.com guest guides for information on how to set up and start using guest guides built within Escapia. Go to the Escapia.com/training and register for one of the upcoming guest guides trainings end of June. Set up and start using the new housekeeping experience. Set up notification templates, including conditions to suit your needs. Start customizing Flex performance insights and reservation reports. And finally, contact Escapia support to learn more about our inbuilt channel manager, Escapia Connect. We're coming into busy season for many of you, and spending time setting up and getting familiar with these new features may seem like a luxury, but I really encourage you to invest time because it will ultimately save you time and quite possibly money in the near future. Now I'm going to hand it back to Ryan to see us out with some important reminders and closing remarks.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you to the team for presenting out and giving us some great updates. Thank you all of you for seeing the really good progress we've made on Escapia that you, our clients, have highlighted as the important areas that you want us to work on. Again, this is how we keep moving forward and everything. On that note, I do have a couple more things I wanted to end with that are good for you to know. Number one is if you look at our new partners, we're always adding and we're vetting and integrating with new options that you should be able to use if it's something that you're interested in. Even just recently, you can see a list here. I won't go over all of them, but we have AI guest concierge, predictive marketing, insurance, guest experience, guest issue management marketplace, and clean management and marketplace options that are already new since the last time we spoke that you can go into and look at those integrated partners. You can see the URL at the top, escapia.com/integrations, and you can see a list of all the partners in any of these categories if you're interested in trying a third party out to help streamline your business. So we are here to always make sure that you have the best available, not only in our product, but also in the marketplace and to find new partners. So let us know if you have any questions about that. Next, I do want to talk about what we always do, which is what drives this webinar. Not only drives this webinar, but also drives what we do into the future is giving us product feedback. If you haven't submitted the feedback before, we remind a lot of you to do this, and we do get it, and we want to continue to get it. In Escapia, click on the account icon in the upper right, and then select Submit Feedback. And whether it's a new feature request, something that you love, or an area that you want us to work on, our team is eager to hear. All the feedback is reviewed. So when you do submit that, we actually see it reviewed by the product team and considered for future development. And a lot of that, again, drives what you saw today and where we're going and how we do it. And we'd love to get that feedback. And also, if you need help on any of the things that were presented today, we have training. We want to make sure you have every opportunity possible to learn how to use your Escapia software to its fullest capacity, and you're confident, you and your team. So Jenna mentioned the instructor-led training sessions for guest guides in June, which you can sign up for. We run these sessions every month covering different parts of the software. So we also offer dedicated professional services and verbal optimization sessions for your teams if you're interested in that. Or if you prefer to learn on your own time, Escapia University and the knowledge base are full of learning materials and videos and sessions that you can go at your own pace with. If you go to escapia.com/training for all the information, has registration links for these web sessions, and you can sign up for whatever you need. All of those are available to you, so please utilize those. We're here to help you in every way that works for you and your timing. Next is something that I like to mention that we did launch last year. Many of you have taken advantage of. If you have not, I want to remind you our exclusive Verbo promotion for any Escapia client that you can take advantage of is still running right now. Now, Verbo loves the quality inventory that Escapia customers specifically provide to the marketplace. Those listings usually perform a lot better than every other listing, and there's a reason for it, is because you provide well managed, well received, and very popular inventory. So here's how it works. You will receive a $100 credit for every new listing, net new listing that you put onto Verbo, and we'll do that off of your Escapia burst. So the way it works is you add more listings to Verbo. So a listing qualifies when it has not been advertised, to be clear, not been advertised on Verbo in the last 12 months or not at all ever. Then to receive the credit, you simply email our CSM team, csm@escapia.com with your Verbo listing numbers. And then we verify that those are actual new listings. And once we get those verified, your one-time 100 credit for each new listing will be applied to your Escapia account. So that's for every single one. Many customers have taken advantage of this, and if you haven't done it, feel free to hop in and do so. And as we release everything that we're talking about today, and as usual, everything that we do push out on a regular basis, don't forget that you go to scapia.com/new. We put the updates of our releases in there along with brief details about it in case you missed it. This is a good resource for you to always look at. And then the last two things I want to bring up in conjunction with not only what we talked about today, but also what's coming up is, well, you can see here, join us. Explore Connect VR, September 16th through 17th. Invites are out. If you want to be added to the invite list, email csm@escapia.com. We will have an Escapia day, and this is going to be a wonderful time. If you have never attended that Escapia Day, this is a great time to get in-person training, meet the teams. We will be there the whole time and dedicated to not only making sure you get the help you needed, but a lot of great content and sessions that you'll want to attend to get up to speed on what's going on in Escapia and just the vacation rental market in general. We'd love to have you there. The first day is going to be exclusively, like I mentioned, just for Escapia clients. So, and then after that, September 17th is VR Day. Future keynotes, Verbo and Expedia Group leadership will be there. It's going to be a great session, a great week. So please let us know if you haven't and or need to be on the invite list because we want you out there to make plans as soon as possible. And finally, we want these to be successful. We want the webinars to be successful. We want you to feel like they're a good use of your time. So please, thank you for attending. And to make it even better, as you see, as soon as the webinar ends, you'll get a very short survey, just like what you see here, pop up on your screen. It's just 3 questions. Please take 1 to 2 minutes to complete the survey. It really helps us make sure that we're on the right track and that the future webinars are great. So from all of us, this brings us to the end. On our behalf to you, thank you very much for your continued partnership. We appreciate you choosing Escapia. We appreciate all of your engagement and attending not only today, but everything else that you have in the past and the future. We'll continue to work hard to bring you the enhancements you need. Thank you again for joining us today, and we'll talk to you next time.